everyone, Teacher Helene here. I just wanted to hop on, and I know there's quite a few questions at the moment for the lesson preparation task. So I thought I'd answer a couple of questions that I've had, and obviously hopefully it'll cover any questions you have. If not, pop me a message. So I'm just going to go through each of the marks and then basically what you can do to get the highest score. So we have the proficiency score, which is you get 10 points for the TPR video. So first thing you do, watch that TPR video, you've got an automatic 10 points. It's out of 100 and you need 80 to pass. So it essentially takes it down to you need 70 to pass. It's a no-brainer really. Then you've got the slides preparation. So that will be sort of going through the slides as you go. You'll get 0.5 points here and there. Obviously, when you're circling, if you're talking about the apple, circle the apple. I think you only get 0.5 per page, but just make sure that you're circling everything that you can, everything that you're talking about, to make it easier for if there was a kid there. You've also got the rating and the mark. So when you've got the stars at the bottom, make sure you're filling them in, and you make sure you're sort of telling the student that's not there that they're doing a great job and here's a star. But you can't press the star because they're offline. But what I did, I got my stars and I showed them and said, well done, you get a star, just in case that made a difference. And then you've also got, so that part's out of 40 and that is done by the computer. So 40 of your points, you'll automatically know as soon as you've finished what you got out of 40. And then the expression score is the reason why it's pending after you've finished is because that is done by a human. So they'll look for verbal instruction, so obviously telling the student what to do and just the way we are verbally with them. Posture, which is if I was to do this, I'd get a lower mark on the posture side of things because I'm covering my face. Or if I was to go off camera, that would lose some points as well. So this video wouldn't get a full mark essentially. And then facial expressions. So essentially that's 30 marks out of the 60 that you can get for that. So facial expressions and being very sort of happy, jolly, have a bit of pizzazz essentially is the key, and that's how you're going to get more points there. So I've had a couple of questions for people who have just started doing it. So there's trials 1 to 4 at the moment. Once you've completed the 4 trials, then you'll be able to unlock trials 5 and 6. And you have to teach for 25 minutes. If you teach less than that, so especially if you teach less than 30 seconds per slide, you won't get any marks for that. So if you did the best expressions, but you taught 20 seconds on a slide, you're not going to get the points. So you need to make sure you're spending some time on each slide, whether it's the introduction or going through. But if you go, oh, apple, click, you're not going to get the points for that slide. The expression score stops. So the human scoring one, the expression score stops after 30 minutes. So if you were to teach 35 minutes, for example, and you had 5 minutes of great expressions, they're not going to get counted. So the clock turns red at 25. So essentially any time from 25, sort of start wrapping it up as much as you can. You can re-record. The highest score will be considered out of all of them. And one thing, make sure at the end so once you've got to that last page, normally you'd press X when you're coming out of the class. Don't, because it won't record it. There is another button on, don't know which side this is going to be. So when you're clicking like next, click here, I think, unless it's reversed, but click here, which will be as if you were going to the next page. That will take you to a scoring page. That scoring page is essentially what we do in trials or after trials, where you say about pronunciation, fluency and things like that. Go onto that page and click what your student is getting. One thing I did, I named my student, so I named her Elsa so that I could say her name through the class. Like I say, I gave stars even though the student was offline. I gave stars, and trying to think of what else. So I know a couple of people in that rating bit at the end, they have gone through why they've given the student that. I personally didn't. I got all right scores, but if it could be that that's a necessary thing. But yeah, it might be worth doing. They've got a massive paragraph at the end of what you could say, and I think it's sort of more of a help towards future reports, essentially. One thing I'd say, any tips? So TPR, be big on your TPR, use your hands a lot, use your props that you've got. I used, depending on which class, I used my banana, apple, rabbits, monkey, sort of everything I could find I used in these lessons. And so yeah, TPR, smile till it hurts. Enjoy yourself, because I know, like, when I first went in, I was so nervous, so nervous. But you know what? Just enjoy yourself. Pretend that you've got this student, like the greatest student on earth, and it'll make it so much easier. So that's probably the biggest tip. And then facing the camera. So make sure you're looking at the camera. You're not going out of camera. Shots, you're not covering your face with props or anything like that. That's what I would say is key. And like I say, just make sure you press next page. Now, I think that's everything. Obviously follow teacher guide step by step. That's what's going to get you the higher points. But I think that's everything that people have asked so far. If you have any questions, you can pop me a message. My name is Teacher Helene on Palfish. Yeah, so if you have any questions, give me a shout. All right, see you soon. Bye.